Hello and welcome back. Before we start, I gotta say, before we begin anything, this video was intentionally produced using a lower quality print of the movie. I did this because I want people to go out and rent or purchase this absolutely awesome Batman film. And honestly, awesome is a huge understatement. For example, when it was first announced that Michael Keaton was going to play Batman, the fan reception was confusing to say the least, and even a bit of a letdown. Keaton was mainly known as a comedic actor, and fans just weren't sold, that is, until the first trailer dropped. When people saw him in the cape and cowl, the hype skyrocketed. What was once bitter cold turned boiling hot overnight. Even Warner Bros. Was caught off guard. And you have to remember, this was back in the day. No internet, no social media. The popularity of Batman spread purely by word of mouth. People were literally buying tickets to other movies just to see the Batman trailer, then walking out right after, without even staying to watch the film they paid for. Jack Nicholson was initially hesitant to take on the role of the Joker, but once he read the screenplay, he knew it was going to be a huge hit. He renegotiated his contract, taking a lower upfront salary in exchange for a percentage of the profits, a move that reportedly earned him between $50 and $90 million. He also had final say over his costumes and makeup design. Robin Williams was originally offered the role of the Joker, but as bait to pressure Nicholson into accepting. When Nicholson agreed, Warner Bros. Dropped Williams. He was understandably furious and refused to work with them again unless they apologized, which they eventually admitted was a shady, underhanded move on their part. Years later, they tried to patch things up by offering him the role of the Riddler in Batman Forever. Williams was interested, but this time he turned them down, still bitter over how he was treated. He didn't trust that they wouldn't just drop him again. Williams never held any hard feelings toward Jack Nicholson over the role. In fact, years later, he even joked around and playfully messed with Nicholson during an awards ceremony.
For those of you at home, Jack is getting ready to bring out a 5-iron.
Since they didn't give you an award, you can have
thank you.
Of their names in the tie.
Thank you. I want to thank Jack Nicholson and General Day-Lewis for giving me this piece of paper. Has their names on it, not mine. And I'm glad to be left out of this incredible group.
The budget for Tim Burton's Batman ended up between $35 and $48 million, inflated by rewrites, reshoots, and the enormous Gotham set built at Pinewood Studios. Warner Bros. Was understandably nervous, but the film crushed expectations, grossing over $400 million worldwide. It didn't just succeed, it kick-started the modern superhero era, long before the cinematic universes we know today. And I mean that literally. In fact, Tim Burton was once set to write and direct a Superman film starring Nicolas Cage, and it was going to take place in the same universe as his Batman films. Michael Keaton was even going to cameo as Batman. So why did it never happen? That's a story for another day. But for now, let's dive into the story of Tim Burton's Batman. A couple and their young son attempt to navigate their way through the streets of Gotham City. They're clearly out of place, trying to find a cab. The father pulls them into an alley as they try to cut across town, but they are ambushed by two thugs. The father is knocked out, the mother screams, and the boy watches helplessly. The thugs then retreat to a rooftop to split the take. There, the criminals discuss recent rumors about a bat attacking crooks in the night. One dismisses it as nonsense, but as they speak, a dark shape descends behind them. Batman silently drops from the shadows. One thug panics and shoots him. As Batman falls to the ground, the criminals think they've won, but Batman rises slowly, quickly neutralizing one criminal. Batman then holds the other thug over the ledge of a tall building. The thug pleads for his life, but Batman has other plans.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Batman then leaps over the edge and disappears into the night. The thug looks over the edge, laughing to himself in disbelief. Later at Gotham City Hall, a lavish press conference takes place. Reporters shout questions about organized crime as Mayor Borg, District Attorney Harvey Dent, and Commissioner Gordon discuss their plans to clean up the city. Bruce Wayne's place at the table sits empty. Of course, we know why. Henchman Jack Napier mocks the mayor and flirts with Grissom's girlfriend Alicia.
If this clown could touch Grissom, I'd have handed him his lungs by now.
If Grissom knew about us, he might hand you something.
Jack meets with corrupt police detective Max Eckhart, who's accepting a bribe to divert attention from one of Grissom's front companies and ensure the district attorney doesn't uncover any evidence linking Grissom to the case. Eckhart doesn't like taking orders from Jack, and the two get into a scuffle. Their argument gets so heated that Eckhart pulls a gun. Bob, Jack's #1 guy, draws his in return, but cooler heads prevail and they part ways. We learn that Eckhart knows about Jack's affair with Grissom's girlfriend.
Where you been spending your nights?
Jack later meets with Grissom and other criminals of Grissom's crew. As Alicia enters, we see Jack looking at her with a smirk on his face. Grissom looks at Jack knowingly. Grissom then sends Jack to Axis Chemicals to take care of some fabricated records problem, secretly setting Jack up to take the fall, or worse.
Get me Lieutenant Eckhart.
Meanwhile, reporter Alexander Knox is mocked by colleagues for chasing stories about the Bat. Undeterred, Knox teams up with photographer Vicky Vale, a new arrival in Gotham whose interest in the Batman stems from a recent series of violent vigilante sightings. The two attend a charity fundraiser at Wayne Manor, hosted by the elusive Bruce Wayne. The manor is a massive Gothic structure, and the party is extravagant. Neither Vale nor Knox knows what Wayne looks like. They explore Wayne's vast armor collection when Bruce suddenly appears, casually revealing himself as the host. He is disarmingly charming and aloof. Alfred subtly tends to his needs. Bruce listens in on the party using a bank of surveillance monitors hidden behind mirrors. Later that night, Commissioner Gordon is called away from the party. There's been a break-in at Axis Chemicals. Napier and his crew are sabotaging the facility, unaware it's a setup. Gordon arrives and orders the intruders captured alive, especially Jack. A gunfight breaks out as police storm the building. Batman arrives silently, disabling gunmen with martial precision. In the chaos, Jack confronts Detective Eckhart, the corrupt cop who sold him out.
Come on, Jack! Eckhart! Think about the future!
Batman intervenes, but during the struggle, Jack falls over a railing. Batman grabs him, but Jack's hand slips, and he plunges into a vat of chemicals. The police attempt to apprehend the Dark Knight, but Batman disappears under the cover of thick smoke. Gordon is in disbelief, as he tells his men to keep a lid on their sighting of the Batman. We're shown that not only has Batman successfully escaped to the rooftop of Axis Chemicals, but Jack survived, though permanently altered, from his brush with mortality. The chemicals have burned his skin and permanently altered his face into a ghastly grin. Driven mad by the experience and his betrayal, Jack gets his revenge on Grissom and assumes control of his empire. The transformation scene involved prosthetics by Nick Dudman and makeup designs by Vay Neal, overseen by Nicholson himself. Nicholson had final approval on his look and insisted that the Joker's grin feel theatrical yet sinister without hiding his facial expressions. So, Nicholson's Joker makeup took approximately 2 to 3 hours to apply each day during filming. Despite the long sessions, Nicholson was reportedly very patient about it, as he knew the look would be iconic. His Joker remains one of the most memorable in movie history.
Terrorizes. Wait till they get a load of me.
Joker now begins a campaign of terror, killing rival gang leaders and disrupting the city's power structure. He seizes Axis Chemicals and uses it to create a deadly line of consumer products. Hygiene items laced with Smilex, a chemical that causes death by grotesque laughter and facial contortion. Bruce begins to fall for Vicky Vale, and they share a romantic dinner. Despite the grandeur of Wayne Manor, they eat in a comically long dining room, awkwardly distant.
You don't know the truth, I don't think I've ever been in this room before. Do you want to get out of here?
Yes.
Later, they retreat to the kitchen where Alfred serves them more casually. Bruce seems more human, more at ease. They spend the night together, but in the morning, Bruce leaves abruptly. Vicky is frustrated and confused. In Gotham, Joker unveils his deadly joke on the city. People begin dying mysteriously with grotesque grins. TV anchors start appearing without makeup, fearful of contaminated cosmetics. Joker interrupts broadcasts with his own sick commercials, posing with corpses as if they're happy consumers. It's darkly humorous and horrifying. Vicky becomes obsessed with uncovering Batman's identity and uncovering more information on Bruce Wayne, not realizing they are in fact the same person. She follows Bruce and photographs him leaving roses in Crime Alley, the site of his parents' murder. Meanwhile, Bruce prepares to tell her the truth. However, they're interrupted by the Joker and his henchmen. It appears the Joker was admiring Vicky Vale from afar and has come to profess his love. It is here the most important scene of the movie plays out. In Vicky's bedroom, Bruce uses a tray as impromptu armor. Bruce walks into the living room and confronts the Joker, telling a story to draw him in and get his attention away from Vicky. Bruce places himself between Vicky and the Joker, then pretends to act out in anger to ensure he has the Joker's full attention.
And he had us.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
It's then the Joker says,
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Fans who watch the movie often think the look on Bruce's face is one of confusion. However, he remembers the murderer of his parents said the exact same thing. To many Batman fans, the idea that the Joker killed Martha and Thomas Wayne is seen as part of the story, but that detail was something Tim Burton added to make their relationship more personal and chaotic, turning it into a story where they're responsible for creating each other. But that's not how it happened. In the original story, it was a random mugger named Joe Chill. His main goal was to rob the Waynes, take their money and jewelry. The shooting was a panicked reaction, not some planned execution. However, even that isn't entirely true. Over the years, the story and motivations behind the death of the Waynes has been retconned and changed so many times that a lot of casual fans still think the Joker was the one responsible. The Joker then shoots Bruce, as Bruce plays dead in the corner. The Joker, knowing that the gunshot will draw the police, makes his overly dramatic exit. Realizing that Napier was the mugger who killed his parents, Bruce becomes more emotionally driven. Alfred, desperate to help Bruce reconnect with life beyond the cowl, invites Vicky to the Batcave. Once there, Bruce finally confesses everything, his trauma, his double life, and his mission. Vicky is overwhelmed but sympathetic. Joker announces a final spectacle, a parade in downtown Gotham where he'll distribute $20 million in cash. The city, desperate for hope and money, gathers in droves. Balloons filled with toxic gas hover above the crowd. Joker, dancing atop a float, unleashes the gas. Chaos erupts. Batman arrives in the Batwing, swooping through the city, slicing the balloon cables and carrying them away. Joker, enraged, shoots the Batwing down with an oversized revolver. The plane crashes spectacularly near Gotham Cathedral. One of the most impressive effects in Burton's Batman is the Batwing crash near the end of the film. The Batwing crashes in front of Gotham Cathedral. It looks massive and chaotic, but what you're actually seeing is a masterclass in miniature effects. The Batwing used in that scene was a highly detailed miniature model built by the legendary special effects team at Pinewood Studios. The team filmed the miniature against carefully lit and recreated backdrops, creating the illusion of full scale. The city street and explosion were also constructed in miniature, but shot in a way that still sells every frame, even all these years later. A cool thing to note is Adam Savage helped completely restore the actual model used in that scene a few years ago. If you want to check it out for yourself, I'll drop a link in the description below. Joker kidnaps Vicky and flees into the cathedral tower. Batman survives the crash and gives chase. Joker dances manically with Vale atop the cathedral as Batman confronts him. They have a very one-sided fight.
Excuse me. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
They fight savagely on the cathedral rooftop, a chaotic dance of fury and symbolism. Batman representing order and justice, Joker representing chaos and nihilism. Joker taunts Batman with his usual blend of gallows humor and madness. In a subtle blink and you'll miss it moment, we're let in on the fact that just as Batman realized who the Joker was, the Joker also knows Batman's identity.
You killed my parents. I made you. You made me first.
Hey, Batman, I was a kid when I killed your parents. When I say I made you, you gotta say you made me. And
Batman punches the Joker over the edge of the cathedral, fully intending to end him. But the Joker has one last trick up his sleeve. He grabs Vicky and pulls both her and Batman over the ledge with him. Cackling and kicking out bricks, the Joker believes he's about to escape scot-free. Joker clings to a helicopter ladder as his men try to pull him to safety, but Batman isn't done. He fires a grappling hook that tangles around a gargoyle statue, which then latches onto Joker's leg. As the helicopter lifts, the added weight of the statue drags Joker down. He falls to his death, landing with a sickening finality on the pavement below, his grotesque smile frozen on his bloody face. There was a video game version of 1989's Batman, and while the ending of Batman and Joker's battle in the film has some room for moral ambiguity, the NES game pulls no punches. There's no question. In the game, Batman picks the Joker up and straight up tosses him off the edge. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, but I've been playing Batman on the Nintendo since I was a kid, and I only just beat it recently. I finally finished it right before my son was born, making it the longest it's ever taken me to beat a video game. As a gamer, I'm not proud of that record, but if it had to be any game, I'm happy it's Batman. Later, the city breathes a cautious sigh of relief. At a press conference, Commissioner Gordon reads a letter from Batman, assuring Gotham he will always be watching. The city unveils the bat signal for the first time, shining it into the sky as a symbol of hope. Vicky Vale is picked up by Alfred, who tells her that Bruce will be a little late. The camera pans up to the Gotham rooftops overlooking the city. Batman stands alone, his cape fluttering in the wind. He looks up at the bat signal, standing tall as Gotham's silent guardian.